Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. It's me, it's Paul Carpenter, and we are here on the road, in the waves, on the other side. Today's episode's a good one. I'm very happy about it. This is episode 71, guys. I mean, I recently was told that most podcasts don't even get past I think something like 20 or 30 videos. So that we're at 71 is absolutely amazing. The next few guests that we have are absolutely awesome. The one that's coming on right now, his name is Joshua T Berglan. He is an absolute gem of a human being. Joshua has something called the Mayor Experience, the World Mayor Experience. And like I said, he's absolutely amazing. And I love him with all my heart. He will be here very soon. And he is about to be on the show. But more than anything else, what I'm really excited about is the story, the resiliency, everything that is Joshua. So here we go, folks. I'm going to bring him up. I believe he's in the studio. We're ready to go. I'm excited about this, folks. Get ready for the next a couple hours. And let's invite Joshua to stage. Joshua T. Berglan, welcome to On the Road, in the Waves, and On the Other Side with me, Paul Carpenter. Thank you for coming on today.
I'm going to have to strap in 2 hours, huh? This is like long-form content. I haven't done this in a long time.
I usually, man, my podcasts, the way that I do them is just like this. Like, have you ever had one of those phone calls where you talk to somebody and everybody's had this, and at the end of the phone call, you're like, man, I wish I would have recorded this phone call. You know that, right? Everybody has that.
Our first conversation.
Exactly. and so this has turned into, over like the 71 episodes, this has turned into me doing deep dives on people. So the way that I usually do is that little intro that I do, and then I bring you on. We have this thing that we're doing now, and then I say, hey, Joshua T. Berglan, who are you? What are you about?
No.
We totally want to know. And I give it to you. And there you go.
Am I at the status of saying Google me yet?
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Listen, I will.
No, I don't mean that from an ego place. I just mean that there's kind of a lot to talk about there. So I don't even know where to start.
So that's another thing. So there we go. So what I usually do is this. I usually say, kind of start off with like, okay, so Joshua, I know that you and I kind of know each other a bit. We've talked over the last 2 years a lot, but I personally don't know a lot about you. And so for me, I think it's from How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's don't be interesting, be interested. And so I'm trying to find out more about you because you've given me little tidbits in our conversations at times. And you were like, yeah, I've owned my own makeup line at one point. I've been on television, and I've done, I've been one of these guys on HGTV and selling stuff. And I'm like, what? Dude, this guy's done everything, And then I go through your friends list, and my friend, the amount of women that you have surrounded yourself with, and they're all stunning, and they're all beautiful, and they're all like doing some amazing something in the world, which is awesome, by the way.
I have no male friends, really. You're one of my few male friends.
And so I, what I've known about you from the get-go is you have this idea called the World's Mayor Experience, which I'm going to add on stage real quick. We have this thing called the World's Mayor Experience, which is your website, and it's a plethora of stuff, as you can see, from your spoken word stuff that you started doing again recently, to connecting people, to teaching people how to do media consultancy, to
Our books
publishing
are there.
books. What's
Two
that?
of our books are there.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
books that we wrote together, there's 2 of them there.
There you go. So that's you know what I'm saying. So this whole thing that you are, and so my question really is, to start off, I'm just going to go from the beginning. Where were you born in the world, and yeah, and how old are you? Like, what year were you born?
Well, so my social security number is 44788. You don't get the rest. Born May 20th, 1979 at 7:02 p.m. in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. To Larry and Rhonda Berglan. They got together, 47 years ago, and brought me into this world.
Great. So the thing that I found about you the most is that you're always about helping others and wanting to give to others and sharing with others. Where does that come from? Where did that start with you?
Oh, I love this question. Oh, now these are good questions. I like this. This is good for my heart. Okay. I have been so fortunate in my life, and for all the issues I had with my father, both of my parents were the most generous, giving people I've ever seen. And even though I grew up in privilege, and there's levels to privilege, I get it. But, when you get to go, when I got to go to the country club every morning growing up, right? I mean, I spent my summers on the golf course and at a country club, and, my parents were both successful. But that said, my parents instilled in us that we're all the same, and to treat the homeless person, the help, the employees, the staff, the members, you treat everybody with the respect, and no one's better than anyone. I mean, that was really installed in my head. But at the same time, on top of that, I got to see their generosity in action with other people all the time. And so that's where it started, is that it was installed in me really, really young. And in all fairness, at that time, of course, going through all the sexual abuse, physical abuse, I was a problem. I shouldn't say I was a problem child, because it went into my 30s. Of being 36, I was a problem child. But the one thing about me, though, for all the angst and the rage and the anger and the hatred and the confusion that was going on with me, when it came to people in need, all of a sudden I turned into a normal person. Mm-hmm. And like, all of a sudden now I'm not mentally ill. All of a sudden now I'm not a narcissist. I actually genuinely care. And it was being in service to others that I always noticed that changed things for me. Like when I was down and depressed and wanting to kill myself, being in service helped. Even happiness with the work I was doing. I never liked sales. Mm-hmm. I never enjoyed it at all. I love providing a service. I love being in service to people, because what I've learned as an adult is that's how I like to express and show love, is through service. And, my biggest goal really my entire life was to make enough money where I could just serve full time, because it was the only thing that brought me peace. Making money never made me peace. And I used to make a whole lot of money when I was in healthcare. Mm-hmm. And of course I was a drug addict at the time, or a chemsex addict, really. And so I didn't have an appreciation or respect for money. It never did much for me. Yes, I like nice things, but I was able to have nice experiences without money. So like, I've always found a way around the rule book, I guess you will. Mm-hmm. But again, the only time in my life that I've ever had peace was in service. And now to be able to live in service, and I've been doing so for 10 years, I've been able to see I have been able to see miracles every day, blessings on blessings on blessings. And I've also seen miracles. I think I said miracles already, but I've seen miracles happen almost every day over the last 10 years I've been in service to others. And to me, it's just a way of life. It's what makes me happy. And to see that it's unfolding to turn into what my version of success is a really, really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally get that. So yeah, you hit on a lot of stuff when you were responding just now that were very heavy moments that you kind of just walked right by. Uh, and I feel that those moments of trauma are what cause you to be reaching out to people who need. You know, at least in my own trauma-based life, right? We all have trauma. Let that sink in, right?
We all do.
But the idea of having a way to work through that is what we're getting at here, right? And you found that way, and it's funny how when you were younger, you may have not noticed or recognized that way, and then it just starts to flow in that direction all of a sudden as you get older. I've noticed that as my testosterone level has gone down, because I'm very hyper, I'm super hyper, and I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm still like I'm 20, you know. But I've noticed that as my testosterone levels have gone down, and I've gone through puberty, my ability to quell the energy and kind of control it happens a lot better now than it used to, where I just didn't have it. I know that at the age of 30 I was still like 19 in the head or even younger.
Same.
I mean, without, yeah, but the difference between me and you maybe is that you had a successful business, I believe, right? You did have and you had been on television and you'd done news and you'd done you'd done things. And granted, I had done my things, but I'd never found what I would call full success. Even if I had MGM for 2 years and I was doing 8 shows a week and I was making good money and I was living in the casino and all those good things, I didn't consider that to be like Chris Angel's success or David Blaine's success or television magic, you know, so whatever that is. And it's funny that I mentioned this to you because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine whose name's Damon Pampolina, who is on 2 shows from now. And he's a ex Mickey Mouse Club star and was, you know, super famous, got to travel around the world, got to perform in front of 50,000 people, you know, one of 50 people in the world that has the moniker of a Mickey Mouse Club. All of that's cool. And we were talking, you know, privately, and he was telling me all these things. And I was like, really? Because from where I'm standing, you know, you did pretty good, kid. You know what I mean? You know? So it's like, yeah, it's like that kind of thing. So let's move forward. So you're getting through your teens. You're doing this thing where you're giving to other people. And when do you start moving? When do you get out of Oklahoma? When did you start like doing the traveling and the moving and like I guess you get to LA at one point? When does this happen for you? What is the spark? Because this is something I say this to you because you and I are the kind of people who will get up and do something, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people that I've met in my life will stay in the same city their entire life, from born to death. I've met many who in the middle of a country who are like, I've never even seen the ocean. And I'm like, you've never seen the what? How? It's like 6 hours in that direction drive now. Like, what are you doing? Like, how do you, oh no, it's good. I'm here. I got a pool. I'm like, yeah, but this is the ocean, bro. Like sharks and like crabs and seashells. You know, and they don't have it. A lot of people don't have it in them, and a lot of people are very scared. So that's why I premised the question again. What was the firecracker in your butt, the thing that just was like, I have to get out of here, and you just went?
Well, I was trying to leave before. I was up for a scholarship to a school in Florida, but then ended up applying for a school in Hawaii. And
so what was the scholarship for in Florida, if you don't mind?
Cheerleading.
No way.
Yeah.
You see, this is why I'm doing this, because I don't know any of this about you.
Yeah, so I started off playing college football, got hurt, ended up cheerleading, and that's a crazy story. But the night, it was May 3rd, 1999 in Oklahoma City. I was at a friend's apartment watching a tornado hit South Oklahoma City, where I just so happened to live. And I was like, hey, that's hitting my neighborhood. Oh, what the heck?
No.
And then I kid you not, I got a phone call from an I think it's 808, 818 number. I think 818 or 808. I forgot what Hawaii was. I'm like, hello? Is Josh Berglan there? I'm like, yeah, this is him. Hey, this is Jarrell from the spirit, what do they call it? The spirit, not spirit club, but basically the same thing. And we would like to let you know that we would like to offer you a full scholarship to come to Hawaii Pacific University, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he goes, you're not more excited? And I go, well, a tornado's hitting my house right now. So like, when can I come? And so anyway,
no way.
I ended up
That
moving.
is the best.
I kid you not. I moved with like a backpack, basically. I didn't have any. I mean, the tornado took everything. And I went with, I got a bunch of FEMA money, and I already had a good job. So like I had my own money. Then I got a bunch of FEMA money. And then I'm going to college in Hawaii away from home for the first time. And
so
well,
good.
needless to say, there's a lot of wild stories there. But I went from Hawaii, moved to Boca Raton, Florida. And I was in Boca Raton for a couple years. Found out that I had a 3-year-old daughter. Came back to Oklahoma. That there's a long, drawn, crazy story there. That's all in my book, The Devil Inside Me. And then my drug habit really starts to kick in and start getting in really heavy into cocaine. Like I was friends with people in the cartel, so it was like getting the good stuff and cocaine, meth. And that's where, well, I shouldn't say the drug addiction. It was my chemsex addiction, because drugs and sex were, from day one, were hand in hand for me. Like
you skirt over so much, Joshua.
What do you mean? It's not. I mean, I've been talking about it forever. It's not a big deal to me,
right? But I mean, like there's a lot of people who are on this, watching maybe for the first time, that have no idea who you are, that don't know this story, and you're just like skirting right over it, like, hey, no big deal, yeah. And so it's all of this is a big deal. So I want to go back. You're
the host.
You were playing football in high school
and college.
Hurt.
No, I got hurt in college football. Yeah.
And then you get into becoming a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
From cheerleading, you get go to Hawaii after a tornado hits your house. This is such a great story. This is such a movie already. And then you leave Hawaii. I don't know how long you stay there. 2 years, 3 years, a year.
Oh, Hawaii was just a year.
So you leave Hawaii after a year. You go to Boca Raton.
Mm-hmm. And
now you're in Boca Raton. And all of a sudden, ring, ring. Oh, hey, by the way, you're a daddy.
Actually, the phone call was during OU Texas football game. I wasn't even watching the game. We were all outside practicing, and it's kind of what we did. It was fun because it was like 20 guys and girls, and we all hung out together. We all partied together. Like it was amazing. And so I ended up going inside the house to check my phone, and I had a phone call from the mom. And she's like, I called back. She goes, you need to take a paternity test. And I'm like, go F yourself. Like, what are you talking about? Go take a paternity test.
When did we have sex? I don't remember you.
Oh, no. That wouldn't be fair. I remember all of it. But the thing is, another guy thought he was the dad.
Oh, whoa.
Another guy was told he was the father. And so I knew about my daughter, but I didn't know she was my daughter.
Wow.
And so when I go take the paternity test, being as cocky as it can be, but everybody who had seen my daughter, I hadn't even seen her yet. Everyone who'd seen her knew she was my kid.
She was yours. Right.
I mean, we look exactly. She's a beautiful woman.
Right.
Now, but it was obvious that, she looked like me. So without the
Wow.
beard. Anyway,
So here's a weird question, and this is just a sidebar question for you because you are perceivably at this point in your life not in any way sexually interested in men.
no, that's not true.
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking. This is, I mean, you're a father, so I'm thinking because of this, are you just fully bisexual?
No, 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 no. At that time, I didn't understand it. I didn't actually even understand it until a few years ago. Um, the
And
I
forgive
would
me if I'm
do
asking
every
anything too
you,
deep.
dude.
Okay,
Read my book. Like, you want to talk about transsexuals next? Because we can do that. Like
I'm
I
not.
don't. We can talk about HIV. We can talk about overdosing. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't have fear over
No,
my.
no, no. Fine, Joshua. I'm. It's not any of those things.
I'm an open book, man.
I am trying to be the best, most gracious host, without trying to be disrespectful towards you, and that's all.
Listen. Hold on. We're gonna stop right now, really quick, and I'm gonna give you full permission to ask anything that you feel led to ask because
Okay.
when I surrendered my life, it was to be used as a vessel, and part of the vessel, part of my assignment, is to put a spotlight on the shadow world that I came from. So while I will not put anyone on blast, I will talk about my own experiences openly and honestly because there's nothing to hide. Like that's the best thing. Here's the thing about me that I love that no one will ever be able to take from me. I live free, free of your judgment, not you, but free of judgment, free of persecution. I only answer to God, and I have no secrets for anyone to try to sabotage me because I remember a girl, and we're jumping ahead here, but I had a relapse about 8 years ago,
Mhm.
and this woman tried to blackmail me with all of the photos and the videos of the stuff that I was doing. And I was like, because I after I so because I it was only a 1 day bender. It was only a 1 day bender. It wasn't a 4 day one like I usually did. But the next day I was like, listen, this is going to affect my relationship with God. You are a trigger for all that's bad and naughty in me, and I can't hang out with you. And she goes, I'm going to tell everybody about what you were doing last night on meth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to send those pictures all over the internet. And I'm like, started laughing hysterically. I go, do you know who you're talking to, you jackass? Like, so literally went on my show. And I'm not saying this to flex at
Right.
all because
Right.
there's a lot of shame in my relapse. But
Sure.
I went on live broadcast and I told everybody what I did. I
Wow.
even called out because she was watching the broadcast. I
Wow.
called her out, and there's people that will remember this. I pointed to her on the screen and I said, yeah, she thought that lady right there threatened to blackmail me, but she didn't know who she was talking to. Because, I had already had a history of telling on myself already.
Already. Right. Yeah.
So, like, I'm not afraid to say I screwed up at all.
Yep.
So, but to go back to your question, so now you have full permission to ask anything you want. But to go
Thank
back
you.
to your question, I battled my sexuality from a child on. I didn't understand it. It was confusing to me.
Mhm.
Being molested by men and women,
Right.
growing up, like that may have played a role in it. But I have to
Sure.
be honest about this. I want to be very clear about this statement. I still believe that I brought it on myself because I believe that I was born this way.
Okay, so I'm gonna from just as a friend to another friend immediately tell you right now that the monsters that were in your life were not brought to you out of your anything.
Well, I mean,
I, you need to know that, Josh. You
I
need
don't
to.
live with guilt. It doesn't hurt me.
No, but you just said, I think I still have the words that I heard, and I may be paraphrasing, but
Mm.
I still have a feeling that I brought this upon myself.
Well, there's an energy that people can put off. Like, for
No,
instance, hold on,
stop.
let me.
Stop. Child does not have the ability to manipulate in the energy style that you're talking about.
Okay,
Child doesn't know what that is.
I'm not.
Sorry, let me finish. Only an adult that wants to take advantage of somebody who doesn't have their own what I would call critical factor which gains around the age of 10 to 13 years old, you don't have the real impetus to know what that is in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But what I want to add to that is saying I pretty much remember being drawn and attracted to what I understand it now as energy. It has nothing to do with gender at all. It's an energy now, is the way I understand it.
It's a sexual energy, right?
And I've had it ever since I can remember, even before I was molested.
Okay.
Now, what I want to say though about being molested, that was actually more damaging, in my opinion, even though what happened hurt and all that. What was more nightmarish for me is when I was threatened if I said anything that bad things were going to happen to me and my family and other stuff, right? That part is where it became very, very scary, because then I was afraid to verbalize what was going on with me. Thus started the lies, the deception, the hiding, all while going to church, hearing that I'm going to hell. That's where my monsters were really born, was in the lies and the secrets.
Sure.
That's why I'm so passionate about truth now, because I know how freeing it is. And I don't expect people to agree with anything I say, or even what I believe, or how I live my life, because frankly, no one even knows how I live my life. But that said, I understand that it's not going to agree. Heck, Christians don't agree with anything on each other. So like trying to please people that already don't even agree with their own belief system, that's a wasted effort on my part.
No, I love the post that you threw up the other day, which was the jacket that said, "Why are you trying to like everybody when you don't even like everybody yourself?" Or "Why are you trying to get everybody to like you when you don't even like everybody yourself?" I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. Yet at the same time, there's this devil's advocate within me that says, oh, but wait, I do want everybody to like me. I do want everybody to love me. I'm me. That, like, I have this thing inside of me since high school that was, even if you don't like me and you talk shit about me, but you hang out with me for just a couple little minutes, you'll never want to ever not have me in your life again. And if it's not that, then it'll be, yeah, he's all right.
That's the opposite.
No.
People run away or get addicted to me.
No. What I meant was, prior to, I wouldn't have even gotten a he's all right. I would have gotten a no, get the hell away from me kind of thing, right? And I'm saying you hang out with me for a little bit, no matter what, it's never going to be, man, get away from me. It'll be like, oh, okay, he's passed the vibe check. And that's good enough for me, believe it or not, that I passed the vibe check. Because it's like, I have this thing inside of me. I was thinking about it yesterday. It was really stupid, but I thought about like my funeral and like if I were to die and like nobody showed up, but instead what happens is that on the internet, on my page, people start to post all the different times that I had done something for them. Or that I had, given somebody like literally the shirt off my back when I was homeless, or gave somebody the last dollar that I had, or any of those little moments. And then that's like the ultimate, like, he had nothing, but he gave everything of himself. He was a man of a full on, really trying to just live this life and give and give and give. And that's the ultimate at the end,
Yeah.
So, and I think you and I, based on the trauma that we've dealt with in our lives, we know this already. We know what that pain is. We know what that solidarity feels like. And we know that we don't like it. And we know what it's like to, and this is the addiction process, at least for me, where something triggers me. And it could be even just a picture on the internet, something like, something stupid. And that triggers me. And then that sends me down this rabbit hole of pornography. And then that sends me down a rabbit hole of massage parlors. And that sends me, to this, like this. And then I end up at the end driving back disgusted with my actions against humanity, against God, against my own soul. And it's like, why did I just do that?
Well, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have those feelings when I masturbate. Like even today, like if I masturbate and I watch porn, I have two bad feelings. One is bad feeling of myself, like why can't I control my own physical self? And then the other part is I feel bad for the female that was involved in creating the content. And
Well,
I go into like this rabbit hole of like how she ended up as a porn star, and it just breaks my heart because there's so many people. I have a friend of mine, very well-known porn star, his name's Seth Gamble. I love him with all of my heart. The kid's an amazing kid. And his story is a bit sad. At least this is what I remember of the story. I could have it a little bit wrong, but he had studied, was about to start going to Juilliard, was a phenomenal actor, and was in LA or in Florida, and met a guy who offered him to do porn, to be in like some thing, and he was like in between gigs. He didn't have money, and Juilliard hadn't happened yet, and nothing, whatever. And so he's like, okay, fuck, I'll do porn. 19, 20 years old, fuck it, I'll do it.
That's how it happened with me.
And so he did the show or the thing, and then all of a sudden he loses his whole thing. He ends up realizing that he kind of put himself into this position, and then all of a sudden he's now, 15 years later, he's now directing and producing some of the best content that's out there. And the last piece of content that he did was the story of his life as a porn movie. And it's really good. And it's literally the story of how he met the guy and how he met the first porn star and the first scenes he ever did. Of course, there's actually like lots of sex. But it's really good because like if you were to just take out all the sex scenes and just follow it from scene A all the way to scene Z, holy crap, you're getting his actual names and people's likenesses have been changed or whatever, but you're getting the story of the industry and what it hurts. It hurts. The industry hurts on many levels. Like if you don't know about the industry, if you've never been there, I had another friend of mine who lived in LA, and she had a girl who ended up getting into the industry and ended up doing her first gangbang scene, and like literally lost her mind within like a 6-month period after doing so, and tried to and this is a very well-known case, unfortunately. She jumped near the Grauman's Chinese Theater and hurt herself badly, bro. Poor girl. But like things like this world that we're in, it's so crazy, like where we're headed and what's going on. And I think I mentioned this to you. No, I didn't. I was talking to another friend of mine. His name's Reginald Adams, phenomenal artist, by the way. He's also one of the people here in the United States who helped push the Juneteenth movement and actually created this beautiful mural that's in Galveston, which is where the speech was given on Juneteenth, which is a very cool thing to be part of. And so him and I were talking about some ayahuasca and medicine. And when we were getting into that conversation, we started talking about how AI is so prevalent right now and so heavy that soon some content that's going to be coming out is going to be so weird and so out there that you're just not going to, it's almost going to be like you're tripping, you know? And then we jokingly were saying, like, in a couple of years, we'll have the ability to send each other like hologram messages, but they'll only be short, like, you know, like vines, and they're still going to be expensive. It's going to cost like $5 to send you a 3D, you know, message. And I joked with him because I was like, he called me on the phone and I answer. I do this with you sometimes. I start singing and dancing when I'm on the phone with somebody and I hear their voice. I'm like, it's Joshua. You know, I do this whole thing. And so I started telling him like what was behind me and happening as I'm doing my song. So I'm like singing the song and then stopping. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, there's 5 people behind me and they're doing the Fosse move. They're doing the Fosse move. And and then we joked about how that would become like a hologram that I could send to somebody, you know, as a way of saying hello to them and making their day better. And soon, you know, we'll be able to do that to each other. And I'm like, you know, soon enough, we're going to be like, don't open the door because you don't know what kind of hologram's coming through. You know what I mean? Like, you just lock yourself off from the world. You're like, I'm done here. That last one was a little much. I mean, you want to talk crazy, Joshua? That I just got signed. This is the first time I've mentioned it to anybody. I have a friend of mine. His name's Donald Dean. He's a prop master. Phenomenal. Gonna have him on soon. He even recreated the box from that movie. What's it called? Hellraiser, where the box splits open and then splits back and it becomes like a hexagon or whatever.
Yeah.
He made one that actually opens up and closes. That's all enclosed in its own self. 200 and some odd different moving pieces.
That's crazy.
Dude, it's absolutely amazing too. It's beautiful. But anyways, going back to this kid, he created this app. I'm going to bring it up real quick. It's called Sensual. Now, Sensual is an app. Talk about crazy world we're living in which you can create your own avatar. And this avatar is then connected to what's called a handy sexual toy device. So you can literally talk to any of these girls that are on film or whatever. And I was able to bring in Lorena Bear, my character that I made. And she's now you can now talk to Lorena and have her interact with she's the first AI influencer.
You're not helping yourself with your porn problem, bro.
No, I don't have a super hardcore porn problem, okay, buddy. I'm just telling you my issues and problems.
I get it. Okay.
But so look, I made her on purpose a long time ago, about a year ago. I think I've shown her to you. I've shown you music videos from her. I recently made a fan view for her. And nothing's ever worked for her, by the way. Nothing's worked. So I've tried music videos, didn't work. Tried selling products, hasn't worked. I've tried promoting her, didn't work. And my friend was like, hey, I made this new app. Let's bring your girl on. And I was like, dude, I've got a great idea. There's nobody's ever done this, right? He's like, no, this is the first time that this has ever been done. And I was like, well, this is great. So then what we need to do is put out a press release and tell the world that we've made the first AI sex bot toy. So we made the first AI sex bot toy that works with the handy device.
I hope you make a lot of money with it.
Man, I listen, I hope he makes a lot of money. I'm just the guy who has my little character that's getting to be the official spokesperson for his product.
Congratulations.
Which listen, in the world of AI, that's a good first.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI, Are you willing to, when it's possible, because I just started doing it today. I don't know if you know it happened, but ChatGPT has just released its, and I think it happened today. It just released its TaskBot chats. So let me show this to you. It's actually really crazy. So here in your text, you have this little extra, right? You have your tools. If you go to tools, you have agent mode. So if I go to agent mode and I come in here, I can now connect all of these different things to my agent. And you can even connect more things. So like if you have other, like if you want to do your Outlook or your HubSpot, or your Google Calendar, you can connect all of these things to it just by saying connect. It's now connected. Boop. Now it's connected to my Google Calendar. I can now get it to start doing pretty much anything I want. So I can have it. It can even go in and make, it can go to websites. So like I can ask it to go to a website and sign in as me. And if it can't sign in, it allows me to take over the platform and sign in so that it can use my account. I'm talking crazy world we're talking here. Okay. So full on, I can like, let's say I wanted to go to, go to YouTube and sign into my account. Let's see if it'll do it. Okay, well, it didn't. All right, fine. Can you upload a video to YouTube? It was doing some really okay. So let's go back. What can you do as a task bot? So it can write, debug, and explain code, automate workflows, connect APIs, set GitHub repos, create and explain local cloud-based installations. It can help build my agent that I'm trying to build out right now. So I'm using something called Agency Swarm, which was created by a guy who's an MIT graduate, and his name is Versen. And this thing allows you to create different bots that do certain things. So, for instance, you can have a CEO bot, and the CEO bot is the CEO bot of everything Joshua T Berglan. And then you could say, okay, now I have my idea bot, my R&D bot. I have my marketing bot. I have my CFO bot. And that one CEO bot will go in and make all of the other bots work. So, for instance, it's connected to Canva. So I can say, make me a new promo for the podcast, and do a whole thing there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it will do all the work for me, and then show it back and say, hey, do you like it or not? What do you want me to change? So we're there. We're only about 6 months away from that, where we have like, I'm talking to my chatbot, like I'm talking to you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I work in this space. So no,
I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying it's so amazing where we're at and what's happening in this world. You know, like what a time to be alive. Mm-hmm. As Dr. Karayon Ifair says from 2 Minute Papers. So my next question for you, Josh, since we kind of veered off into a million different places, because I've always wanted to know this about you. Since we were kind of, anyways, we were going around, you find out about your daughter, you're back in Oklahoma. When do you get into television? When did you get into your business of having a makeup company? How did that come around? Like when did you start your serial entrepreneurial kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I started that when I was young. But because I always had it in me, because my parents didn't Like my dad's like, you want Jordans? Go get a job. Dad, I'm 12. I don't care. Get a job. You've ever heard of child labor laws? Get a job. And then, so that's when it started. When I was 12, I started like organizing basketball tournaments in my backyard and charged the neighbors. And, I figured every hustle. Plus I gambled on the golf course. I was really good at golf. Anyway.
That's right. You were at the golf. You were always gambling.
I was a good golfer. But so I got out of, when I was in healthcare for 18 years, working with complex disabilities, and I knew that there was big changes coming. So I was told my father, I was like, listen, we've got to sell the company. We're not going to survive with these changes that are coming. We need to sell to a national company. And he was like, well, if you can do it, do it. And I'm like, okay. So, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I had an idea, a vision for what to do. Sure enough, we sold it.
Wow.
And I went to go work for the corporate company. I'm not much of a corporate guy, but it was I was in Vegas, Las Vegas, and I was hammered from partying all night. And the next day I walked into this event. It was like an aesthetics conference. And like, as soon as I walk in.
Wait, hold on. Stop. You had nothing to do with this aesthetics conference. You just walked in to walk in?
Yeah. Cause that's what I kind of do. I don't need to be invited. I just show up usually. Okay. It was in the hotel. It just made sense for me to be there. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So I poked my head in, and this lady comes up to me and she's like, hey, you look like hell. Go put this on. Like, who the F are you, lady? She goes, trust me, go put this on. So anyway, I put the eye cream on, go back, I see her. She holds up a mirror. She goes, look. And like the hurt had gone away from my face. So that engaged me in this conversation. Anyway, nothing happened there except for I took home some samples of this product. And there was a hair growth product and a couple others. And I didn't know anything about skincare, or even the only thing I knew about stem cells was from working with spinal cord injuries and seeing how that had improved spinal cord injuries that were wheelchair bound, allowing them to walk. So I knew enough about that, but I didn't know, and I knew about wound healing, but I didn't know anything about the cosmetic, skincare, medical aesthetics industry. I go home, I use the product, I'm using the topical, and I shave my head on purpose. But at this time, I had this bald spot right here. Start putting the product on. Bald spot goes away in a week. And I'm like, what in the, so, and then everyone that I gave samples of this product to lost their mind, like professionals, like experts. I didn't know anything about it, but based on their reaction, I'm like, okay, well, I had money. I came into some money, and I bought the distribution rights to this product. And so that allowed me to start traveling to LA, like New York, Vegas, Miami, and I'd spend weeks at a time. But I was also accelerating my drug use and partying and everything else, because doctors love cocaine. I love cocaine. My cocaine would then switch to meth and disappear and like miss planes, all that stuff, but whatever. Like, it just, so I remember when every time I would come back to Oklahoma, I would be ready to party even more. And my girlfriend at the time, she'd have drugs waiting. We would do our orgies and the crazy sex stuff. But I started to feel the walls closing in on me, as in Oklahoma is not that big, and all my secrets were becoming like harder to hide.
Oh, right. Wow.
And so I remember just going, I need to go. I need to clear my mind and go. And I kept hearing this voice say, go west, go west, go west. And I remember looking at her in the face, and I said, I got to go. I have to take off on a road trip. And she's like, where are you going? I said, I'm just going to drive west. So I ended up going to Denver. I saw one of my employees there. Then from Denver, I went to Vegas. I stayed at my friend's house. I had these two friends that essentially they had the pizza dough distribution for the world. Like that, I stayed at their house. They had 15 houses all over the place. Got to stay in their Vegas house. Was there for a week. Then I decided to head to LA. And the very first moment I got to LA, I went to West Hollywood, went to the Equinox there on Sunset Boulevard because I had a membership there. go work out. I do my workout. Fabio, this is actually in my book. Fabio's doing abs. It's the one where you
the Fabio.
Yeah, the Fabio. You hold yourself up and basically you lift your legs up for the ab exercise.
Sure.
And so he asked to work in with me. And I'm like, all right. And that, by the way, anyone who's worked out that Equinox knows intermixing with celebrities there is just very common. Like you don't act like, oh my God, give me your autograph. It's normal. They're there.
Right.
I mean, everyone there.
Cool.
I've seen every A-list celeb you can imagine working out there. That said, he walks in, we start talking. And I was like, I made a joke about my mom's romance novels. I don't even think my mom actually read romance novels, but I made a joke just for fun. So he starts talking and he's asking me where I'm from. And I tell him I'm Oklahoma. And then he starts making fun of women from Norman, Oklahoma. He goes, I've been to Norman, Oklahoma once, and start making fun of the women there. And I'm like, whatever. Anyway, leaving, going downstairs, walking out. There was something about the way the sun was hitting that exact spot that I hit. But when it hit me, I'm like, I'm staying in LA. This is where I belong. And I called my girlfriend. I said, all right, I'm staying in LA. If you want to come, sell it, sell everything in the house.
Come
out here. That's how I ended up in LA. But the first go
around. Can I tell you a story? I got to tell you a story. This is crazy. I'm 17 years old. I got kicked out of the Air Force. I'm going to let you in. I'm going to let you right back in. I end up back at my friend's house. We smoke a bunch of pot that day. And we're asking each other where we want to go on some kind of adventure. And he mentions, let's go to Miami. I'm like, no. He's like, let's go to New York. I'm like, no. And then he says, let's go to LA. And I swear to you, the garage door was barely cut open. And the entire garage, like as if the sun had parted, was what happened. The sun had come out of and the entire room lit up and we drove to LA. I was 17 years old.
It's a magical place.
Yeah, it's crazy. The same thing kind of happened to you. This an LA moment. It's just cool. Okay, so go ahead. So you tell her, what'd she do?
Oh, she ends up showing up a couple weeks later. At that time, though, I was just focused on skincare, but I was getting invited to a lot of events. Like I was getting to sponsor events, and through sponsorship is where I fell into production, and through event production started getting me on film sets. But the real hardcore getting into production and acting and commercials and even event production didn't happen until my second go around in LA.
Huh.
There's a lot. That first LA story was the acceleration of drug use and basically ended up in jail twice and, facing 5 years, my last time in jail was ultimately what led to me turning my life around 10 years ago. I was facing 5 years and, I've always been able to run and get out of pretty much every bit of trouble I'd have ever been in. Or with get out. I mean, even when I went to jail, all the 5 times before, I was out the next day. So it wasn't that big of a deal.
Right. Well, I don't even consider that like a time served thing. I don't even consider that jail. Like that's stupid. Like,
it is.
That's like go ahead.
I didn't learn my lessons, the point. And I had plenty of opportunities, getting arrested with a prostitute, DUI, beating up cops, beating up military guys. And then domestic violence twice. Those are real. Yeah.
I was talking about like driving with the license suspended.
No. I'm talking, I was violent.
Yeah.
In dark. And
sorry about that, Joe.
But I got out. The last time I went to jail, though, I told them I had HIV when I was getting booked because I thought it was going to give me special privileges. It's not because I didn't have HIV. I did, but I wouldn't have said that. I just thought that I was going to get put in the medical tent or something like that and like have a cush. No, they put me in isolation.
Yep.
And I'm pretty confident it was the psych ward just because of the maddening screams I kept hearing all around me, but I couldn't see them. I could just hear them.
Yep.
It was being trapped alone, just God and I for several days is what finally started to get to me. And there's a long story there, but ultimately that's where I surrendered my life and where everything changed for me.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Same thing happened to me during COVID. After I was dating this woman, so many similarities between you and me, man. I had driven around the United States during COVID after I met this girl. We rented a U-Haul illegally and drove around all over the United States illegally. Got arrested in Orlando, in Volusia County during like Daytona during COVID. And I told them that I had medical, pills, and they immediately put me into the ward, padded cell, and I was there for 5 days by myself, listening to people scream and throw feces from their cell. Yeah, it was absolutely insane, bro.
Yeah, it's not fun.
That anybody stays 10, 20 years in a jail, in a prison, is absolutely what we're doing to ourselves as a race. You know what I mean? What we do to ourselves as a race is so insane.
Yeah.
So insane. Like, especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, just it's all based off of wanting other people to have control, this constant gatekeeping thing that I'm happy AI is going to destroy. I'm happy AI will destroy the gatekeeping of this world, because the thing, like what's happening right now with Trump and the whole releasing the documents, that would have already happened. That would have already been released. Get out of here. Just get out of here.
I'm keeping all of my political comments to myself because I don't like any of them, and I will offend everyone in the room.
No, it's good. Listen, I'm not. The thing is like people think I'm a Trumper, and that I love Trump and that I love Elon, and I'm like, listen, I'm not a this or a that or the other. I'm an American that wants America to work. Period. I've always loved the idea of this scientific experiment that this country has been. I think it was a beautiful idea. It's time to move on. It's time to grow. And I think that AI is blurring the lines of the esoteric and the technological to a place where, they always say that anything that is a magic trick or anything that is scientific future seems as though it's a magic trick until it becomes a reality or something to that effect. And that's exactly where we are right now, where everything that we're seeing is starting to become real, and very heavily real. and yeah, man. What are your goals here now that you're at this place in your life? You've now recently you were at the UN and you were doing some things with the UN, and you have this new product that you've put out that is helping other people learn about literacy with AI, and also putting themselves out there and becoming content creators. So
that's not what I do at all.
You're not doing that at all anymore? Because at one point
I never did. That's not what I do.
Oh, I thought at one point you were helping people build out their dream, like their idea, and put it out into the world.
Right, but it's a full. I show people how to tap into the power of media. In other words, media and digital literacy is what I specialize in. And media and digital literacy is there's two definitions for media literacy. Yes, I teach how to decipher between real and fake news. But the other definition, the expanded definition, is the understanding of how to use the media tools, digital tools available to monetize your gifts, talents, and intellectual property. I show people how to create with no money, how to create endless revenue streams, just tapping into their natural God-given gifts. I created the system for that. My books that I write, what I teach, what I speak on at the UN, the organizations that I'm a part of around the world, that is what they use my system. The schools I teach at use my system. America.
Joshua, this is the stuff I don't know about you, Josh.
Yeah,
and this makes me so stoked.
I've been teaching this for 10 years, and unfortunately, America, well, actually, I'll tell you this, I share this all the time, but not the second UN speech I did, but the first one I did a couple months ago in New York was like, in every one of the meetings that we were at, every one of them talked about how 80% of the world is not ready for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
80%. Do you know who is the furthest country behind of all countries? This includes India, Africa, Bangladesh, name a country. Guess which country is
us.
behind?
It's us.
It's the United States.
Yeah.
We are the most media illiterate nation in the world, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
And
people don't recognize that the content that's coming out is only coming out from like really 2,000 people. Like when you look at it, when you look at the scope of what it is, it's not a lot of people creating content. It's a lot of people wanting to be in the content machine, but it's really, okay, 5,000 people, maybe 5 that are really that, because how many can there be that are prevalent, that are well-known, that are that are in the, social consciousness that can stay there.
And most of the content that's created is wasted anyway because of the way it's used.
Yeah.
Like very few people actually protect their intellectual property with what they create. Very few people are truly monetizing what they create.
Look, even myself, look, I'm not even doing it the way you have expressed to do it. Like, which is have your own website, keep the stuff on your own stuff, keep everything as your thing, because then you own it and they can't control who gets paid.
Now I'm doing a new live thing because it's easier for me and it helps me stay away from technology, because technology is like poison for me in the way my health is. But the one thing about it is, for me, my platform's built. I have every revenue stream. I have all my books, movies, TV shows, events, services, everything. So now that platform can just sit there, and my social media runs through my platform. Everything runs through my platform, so it's always updated. It's always fresh. So now I can do lives without having to edit, without having to do anything, and have that serve as basically my commercial for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And the live
way to do it.
The live that I'm doing is unpredictable. Like I basically draw a word out of this thing and I talk on that word. That's my content. I may go 5 minutes, I may go 20, but basically that's how I'm advertising the work I do now, but just through getting to talk from the heart, really. But the only reason I can do that and it actually be worth my time is because my platform's built.
Right.
And I took 10 years to build it, but I built it.
But you built it, and that's all that really matters. So what is your if you don't mind giving it to me, how do you feel? I already know this answer, but what is your feeling for what's coming in the next couple of years?
I'm not going to speak at it. I'm not. Okay. So I could talk about this from the lens of a conspiracy theorist and somebody.
Because from when I talk to you, this is why I said I already know the answer. You have been very adamant about being very excited about the future.
Yes, I am.
And I am too. I am just also, I believe, wary of the excitement on some level, right? Because
okay, I'm going to answer your question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
With media and digital literacy, it provides a reason to be excited because you realize how these changes that are coming, whether we want them or not, how to take advantage of them and capitalize off of them. Agenda 21 has been out since 2003, I believe, and Agenda 2030 has been out since 2013. So basically, we've had plenty of time to prepare. The world leaders told us what was coming. They told us a long time ago what you need to do to be prepared. Yeah. I actually listened. That's why I wrote the books. Because there is no reason to fear. I will tell you, though, the people that are not prepared will be enslaved because their job's going to go away. They're not going to have anything to fall back on. They haven't built their platform yet. They're not in the creator's economy. So the creator created us to create, and we're in the creator's economy. That's amazing news. But the problem is the people that are not prepared for that are going to fall into the universal basic income category, where that sounds wonderful and sweet. That is enslavement. You won't be able to afford to travel. You won't be able to afford the carbon tax on universal basic income. But guess what? The people that create, the people that provide value, the people that teach, the thought leaders, the community leaders, they're going to be the new celebrities of this new world we're going in. They will travel freely. They will live freely. They will live the life of their dreams. And other people will be enslaved. And you can disagree with that. Anyone can try to disagree with that. But I would challenge you to a healthy debate Any day on that.
Any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Any day of the week.
Any day. I've been saying it for years. I just say you're either a content creator, or you're a content distributor, or you're just going to be content eater.
But I don't even like content creator, because content creator is like, oh, I'm on Facebook and I'm just pumping. I'm on this hamster wheel of dumping content. I want people to create meaningful content that aligns with their heart, aligns with their purpose, aligns with their gifting, provide value. Quit getting in the opinion game of sharing what we think is going to happen or what our beliefs are. No, just provide value.
Yeah.
Your beliefs and opinion is not value. It's basically wasted oxygen, especially in a world full of everyone wanting their opinion heard. Everyone deserves to be heard, but talk about something that freaking matters, which is the truth. And if you don't know the absolute truth, shut your mouth, because you're not contributing to the world in a positive way. The people that make meaningful content, you don't need to be on a hamster wheel pumping out content all the time, especially if you take the time to create meaningful content that you can monetize and you provide value. There's so many other ways to provide value to make your paid paywall content valuable to people, to make people want to buy it. There's ways to provide value for free, but this content game, you can't beat the robots in the content game.
And they're about to start pumping like crazy.
Way more.
Did you see more? So Elon just said that he's going to start Vines up again. It's all AI. He's going to create Vines, and they're only going to be AI.
Dude, we're gonna see people dating robots so much faster than you think.
Like, I just showed you the app.
The full-blown robots is gonna happen. I know.
It already happened. What are you talking about, sir? There's a guy.
No, it's gonna be common in public. In other words, it's going to be Facebook.
It's going to be a thing that is fashionably acceptable. Yes, 100%.
It's already happening in the marketing. They've been planting it forever. It started with black goo, then it merged to transhumanism. But by the way, the black goo was a hint of transhumanism.
Yep.
Like but people that think about like they're out celebrating, like, listen, I'm part of the community, but I'm not part of the community. In other words, I'm not part of the agenda. All the letters, the LBGT, GY, XYZ, push. I can't even. All right. That has nothing to do with equal rights. That has to do with transhumanism. It's all part of the transhumanist agenda. And by the way, Elon and Trump's grandfathers were some of the godfathers of transhumanism and the technocracy.
Hello.
What? And we live in a technocracy now. The big, beautiful bill, that made us a technocracy.
100%.
Like 100%. And that may be the crazy thing is, I almost trust the robots more than I trust the people.
Listen. You know what? And this is where my last book that I wrote came from. Unfortunate as the heavy title that it is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But it came.
That was heavy.
It was. But did you read it? You read it, right? You read it?
But some of it, yeah.
Right. It's heavy. But the end up result is that, a lot of the things that we said we didn't want, we're begging for now.
Begging,
just like 1984 said, just like they said, begging. So it's like, man, there's so much of it that is happening, that is real, that, it's like, whoa, and then there's so much of the books, five war theory, 7 types of humans. So much of it's really coming to like fruition. It's like, whoa, like, I wasn't off. And it's like, man, on the other side of it, as I love to do with this dichotomy thing here, I'm super excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for new worlds. I'm ready for no Alzheimer's. I'm ready for people being healthy. I'm ready for no cancer. I'm ready. Now, does that mean I'm into eugenics?
Listen, if people are not living in the purpose they were created for, why even live?
Right.
And the cool thing I believe about this new world that we're going into is everyone's going to have a chance to live in their true God-given purpose. Like, that's the opportunity available right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about. But there's people that will be enslaved by what happens because they're not prepared. The people that are prepared are going to thrive, and they're going to go, wow,
No,
this is utopia.
I also feel, Joshua, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone by saying this, okay? And maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of people on this planet that don't care to do that.
No, they're not.
No, and it's not something against them. It's just something that they're just not into. Like, it's just not my thing. What do we do with those people? Universal basic income?
That's what they're going to get. And for all the people that sling around the word useless eaters out of fear because somebody from the World Economic Forum said it, if you're not contributing anything to society, what the heck are you? Because here's the thing, our creator didn't create us to sit around and do nothing. To play video games. He created us for a purpose. Live in your purpose. I mean, the funniest thing about AI, for all the people that say AI is the devil, I would like to say AI has basically made it easier than ever for every one of us to pursue our dreams. Every one of us. It has given us an opportunity. It's given the people like me that can't necessarily do a normal job because of my physical situation, because I have a hard time being around people. It's given me an opportunity to still make my dreams come true. There's people that have cerebral palsy, ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other sensory issues that now can take advantage of this technology. There's people that can't walk, but will be able to do things like perform and to create experiences for other people where they get to feel like they're walking. Like, there's so many cool things happening in the medical space also. Like, you can go, well, this is of the devil, but guess what? To me, it's the humans that have been more devilish than the technology's been.
Yeah. And this goes into the last book, which is or I guess actually second to last book, which is the technology book that we talk about, where I truly believe technology came before biology. And we're just reaching back to the technology and the understanding of it all.
I'm kind of believing that we may be AI ourselves, but yeah.
Exactly
hey,
that.
Paul, the pain is starting to get.
I understand.
Much for me.
I was gonna already offer it.
Okay, I love you. The pain is getting too much for me.
I love you, Josh. Do me a favor. Tell people where people can find you, and we'll let you go.
Right there.
JoshuaTBerglan.com.
That's the only thing I promote.
Thank you so much for everything that you've been. I love you with all my heart.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Good to see you.
We'll see you soon. Okay. Wow. Another amazing episode, guys. I told you it was going to be good. That was actually fun. I love these. I absolutely love these with all my heart. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Get ready for next episode. It's going to be a banger, I promise, just like this one, with all my heart. Thank you very much. Guys, please go out into the world, do something nice for somebody else. And if you can't do something nice for yourself, it does start with you. Number 2, don't get caught up in all the crazy things. And number 3, if you would not mind, please like, share, subscribe, send this out to somebody who'd like to see it. My friends, thank you very much for watching the episode On the Road, in the Waves, on the Other Side, episode 71 with Joshua T. Berglan. Thank you, and we'll see you on the other side.